morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, Kate. How are you?
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely, thank you. So, I am the founder and the CEO of Arrive On Time Proprietary Limited. It's a company that repairs dishwashers, washing machines, dryers and ovens around Melbourne and Northern Victoria. Franchise business that I started 21 years ago now.
Wow. You should have had a party.
We should. We probably still could. We could make a date.
Yeah.
We could pretend it was 1st of December. So that's who I am. And with my wife Gloria and I, we run Arrive On Time.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted to say that our son and daughter-in-law have recently joined us to continue its growth. And we are passionate about the bright future that the business has, basically.
Very well, Sean and I are happy to be here. So
Well,
thank you.
That's good.
So can you tell us all why you started Arrive On Time? What gave you that light bulb moment that went, oh, this is something that I can do?
Well, life happens in strange ways, doesn't it? I was an air traffic controller for most of my life. And I got to the age of 53 and was given the opportunity to take early retirement.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, at 53, I could have a whole new life. I wasn't too old. I didn't need to go into retirement.
Sure.
So I started to look around at things that I could do. And I came across a franchise for appliance repairs. And I thought, well, I don't know anything about appliance repairs, but I'm sure I could learn.
Yeah.
And so I had a look at the franchise. And when I looked at the franchise, I thought I could do so much better building a business, be a better franchise opportunity. And so that's what triggered the thought, and indeed set to and had the guy who originally was going to sell me his franchise join us as we got going.
Wow, yeah.
And I found somebody who'd had a franchise, who was no longer in the franchise business, and I paid him to teach me how to do it. And I bought his van and I bought his stock, and then as I went out on my own, every time I needed help, I would pay him $10 to take my phone calls. And so it was a fascinating start, but enthusiasm and persistence is really what got it going. And I had a vision right from the beginning that we could provide a service, and I just recognized that if you were a seriously client-focused business,
Yeah.
as opposed to systems-focused or individual-focused, you could create a wonderful business within this industry, because client-focused businesses in this industry are a little lacking.
Yes.
And that's how we started, and we would drive everywhere. I have a fascinating memory with Sean, where we had a job in Sunbury late in the day, like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and Sean was living in Bentley, I think, at that time, and I was living in Mornington. And as we finished up this guy's job at about 7 o'clock, he said, "Oh boy, it's so nice to find somebody local." We went and smiled and said yes, and then drove to Mornington to pick up Sean's vehicle, and he drove back to Bentley. So, but that was the nature of the early days.
Yes. You do what you got to do.
You just do what you've got to do, and slowly we've grown the business.
Yeah.
And never lost the passion, never lost the enthusiasm for it, always believed in it.
Yes.
And always maintained the same ethical attitude towards it. And that's been a great, it's been the backbone of the business, really.